we pumped? Happy post WrestleMania Saturday, night one, everybody. If you are like me and you just came from watching the PLE, that was a fun way to spend 72 billion hours. But now we're going to end the night with a little something we like to call Halloween speculation season. If you are joining me now, welcome. If you're not joining me yet, a belated welcome to all those. Today, I want to kind of get into a few things that are starting to develop, mainly amongst Scary Farm and Horror Nights, mostly, I guess. And it's funny, a lot of things that I've been kind of trying to put my finger on, like finger on the pulse of. I'm starting to notice a lot of other people are saying it, which I guess is a good thing because that means that my mind is in the right direction. I always have a fear that I'm overlooking things or just not thinking the right way as far as like theme park vlogging and all that stuff. But first, okay, so I guess first what we'll do is we'll dive into Knott's Berry Farm since that's kind of my bread and butter these days, and look into where they are with their mazes. Now, these videos are a little older. Yeah, these videos are a little bit older, but they I mean, you still kind of you get the idea. They haven't really sorry, I'm setting it up. They haven't really progressed much yet. But also while I'm here, I should probably, my freaking X is blowing up with WrestleMania stuff. Adventures with David, he's all over it, man. He's just the WrestleMania guru. So this is kind of what we are looking at right now with Scary Farm, with the first, where Bloodlines was, the first maze. That's the side view of it. This is kind of this is my footage, but this is basically the footage that everybody else has too. You can see, I mean, that's, the facade is pretty big so far. It's, I mean, I talked to Gloria earlier today. She's, I don't know if she's heading up this project, but she's one of the main designers on a lot of Daniel Miller projects. She did a lot of the scenic work and Widows and Waxworks, and if you don't know who she is, she's the bride in Ghost Town Streets. But she said that that this is not, like, the facade is not going to take shape until much closer to the announcement event, for this reason, because they know that we're watching, and they're smart, they're savvy to that stuff. They keep up with the Joneses, and they don't want to give away the goods so early, right? Let me make sure that all this stuff is going. This stuff is working. Okay, yeah. Just making sure that was working. Okay, sorry about that. But I did a whole live stream before in the past, and the audio was off the whole time. So I'm just making sure, quadruple checking. I got Festive. Look, I'm not in my garage. I'm in my little office next to my kitchen, and I got Festive too, with my little lanterns. So that's fun. And then, okay, so anyway, enough about all this, right? I will now. So let's look at the other view. So this is the view that you can see from Grand, and it's not super revealing, but you kind of get an idea. Now, I'm pretty sure that I think I can get a better vantage point of this next time I go. I have a couple ideas of places. Sorry if I overstep my bounds, Knots, please tell me, and I'll stop being so nosy. So we have we have whatever this is, and it looks like, you've got your windows with the little um, windowsill bars and stuff. So it's a house, a hotel, some sort of building, right? A lot of people, and you can. What's cool is you can see the warehouse. If I pause it right there, you can see the warehouse door up over. It's opened, and they're already working on the inside, which is pretty dope. Oh, hold on one second, guys. I know this is ridiculous. I'm trying to get like all this stuff like finessed in here, and I realized that my laptop wasn't plugged in. It was going to run out of juice. So hopefully it does not. Yeah, so it looks like they're already working on the inside too, which is pretty cool. Now, so I did mention something that I was thinking about not that long ago. And I heard it reiterated by other people as well in other live streams and stuff. And that is the fact that Cedar Fair and Six Flags are now one. And because of that, they may be working a little bit hand in hand with some of these events, such as the Halloween events. From what I've heard, is they will be helping. Cedar Fair will be helping Six Flags out with their Halloween event with Fright Fest, which is good because Fright Fest needs it, man. Last year was a bit of a dumpster fire at times. They got a little over ambitious, a little over aggressive, and I think they could have used a little help last year. As to where Knott's, they've fallen into their routine, and they've got it down. You know what I mean? So that's kind of nice. But what else comes with that is I was thinking about what if Knott's decided to get into the IP game, since Six Flags does own a fair amount of IPs. And if you notice, the IP based mazes that were at Fright Fest last year, they weren't great. Saw was okay, but Saw, that was a second year. Same thing with The Conjuring. It was the second year that they run, so they kind of had time to get them going. Stranger Things was a bit of a bust for me. I feel like Army of the Dead was never even open. What else did they have up there? I don't even remember what else they had. They had Trick or Treat. I thought Trick or Treat was fine. I don't even remember all the things that they had. But the ones that they did have, out of all of them, Saw was good, Conjuring was good, and Trick or Treat was good. And then the other ones I felt were just kind of meh. And then they had all their originals. Now, the originals they've had for 11 billion years. So if those weren't good at this point, then I don't know what to tell you. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, what if they decided, which it's kind of far off at this point, but what if they decided to lend one of their IPs over to Knott's to run for Scary Farm? Now Knott's has done IPs in the past. They've done a few. I think the last one they did was like almost 20 years ago, with I believe the Grudge 2 was the last one that they did. And I wanted to show you guys. I managed to find a video of the Grudge 2, which I believe the Grudge 2 was the last one, right? I think that was the last one that they, the last IP that they actually did. And I wanted to just I wanted to watch the walkthrough with you guys. I haven't seen it all the way through. Like, I made sure that it was the right video and stuff. But I wanted to watch it through with you guys, so you can see kind of what they can do with IP based stuff. Now, the Grudge, if you ever saw the Grudge scared the pants off me. 1 and 2, I never saw 3. I never really wanted to see 3. But the first one the first one scared the piss out of me. I remember the first one. Hey, Lament, welcome. Finally caught it. You finally caught us. Look at that. Lament finally caught alive. Look at you go. All it took was a Saturday night, right? I don't know how many people are going to join us tonight. It's been a long night. A lot of these people have probably been watching wrestling all day, so last thing they want to see is my ugly mug on their screens. But let's watch this walkthrough, and well, let me unmute it. You get an idea. He's not doing a job. How they can do it. Keep in mind, this is from 2007. The video
始まり妖怪たちは集い始め宴が始まる
That's crazy. That that sound design was a little nuts. So that's kind of what Knott's old team used to. Now I don't remember. I don't know if Daniel Miller was doing May's design. I'm sure he probably wasn't like the head. That was The Grudge 2, 2007. So, yeah, so that's to my knowledge, that's the last one they did. Now I do know I have a couple more that I want to show you. We don't have to watch the whole thing if you guys don't want to. But here's another one that I actually watched some through also. And this one, so this was around the same time, I believe. Maybe it was a little bit before. No, it'd be after. It would have to be because Quarantine came out in 2009, I think. So this is from the movie Quarantine. If you don't remember that movie, it wasn't a huge movie, but it was like a found footage movie about it was like an apartment complex or something, like a big building that had to get quarantined off because of zombie virus. Like there was a zombie outbreak in it, and it was what's her face from it was wild. From Dexter, I don't remember her name, but she was in it and she had to go in there. The movie was good. I thought the movie was super cool, but they did a maze at Knott's as well. This one's much shorter. So here we go. This is Quarantine. It's good makeup.
God, I love Chipotle.
Wow, widows. Hold on. That's not. Oh my God, I think it is. Okay, so I don't know if any of you guys watch the Hotline when they do their live streams. John and Mystery and Nico, they do like basically this kind of stuff, but it's all Halloween based. Like they all do Halloween stuff. But I think Nico said that he worked quarantine before, and I think that's him. So if anybody if anybody knows Nico, I think he's in this video. I'm pretty sure that's Nico. That's really funny.
Receiving conflicting reports. Building completely evacuated.
This game's over really that's that. So that was quarantine. So that was like the last couple that that I remember that Knott's did. I don't know how far back it goes. Knott's isn't really known for their IPs, probably because they are only really allotted 2 new mazes per year. So I feel like they may not want to just waste their creative juices on an IP. But I don't know. I feel like that's a different way to be creative. You know, they and Six Flags has 6 of them that Knott's could totally knock out of the park. I think that would be really cool to have one be an IP and one be what's it called? One be original. Now, if they didn't, that's fine. That's just something that I thought would have been really cool. But you know, it is what it is. I tried to get I tried to look at where what's it called? Where Waxworks was. They are very good at not giving this away. So that's, oh my gosh, this thing doesn't, this software's so bad. Like it won't let me loop it, but I don't know. You can't really tell that anything's there. I know they've got wood up. If you look between you kind of have to look between like all that stuff. But that's where we are with Knott's right now. I don't know who's working on this one. I know it's the Widows team is working on across from Widows. They're working on the old Bloodlines maze, so I don't know which creative team is working on this one. I guess I'll have to find out. But that's where we are with Scary Farm, and I'm very excited about Scary Farm. I'm probably more excited about Scary Farm than I am about Horror Nights to this point. Basically, because if you follow people that I follow, let's see, who is it? HHN 365, right? Let's see. No. So I'm gonna go to their thing and let's see if we can find it. So they've let me just so you guys can see what I'm doing. So this is what they've been posting and stuff like this. So this is the T pad, which is where Texas Chainsaw Massacre was last year behind Transformers. And if you read this, we are now 99% sure the T pad is a repeat of Scarecrow the Reaping. These walls and how they're laid out are exactly like they were from the Crow Poop scene Scarecrow in 2022 from Kevin and Theme Park HD. So that's that's from the Scarecrow maze in 2022. And if you can kind of peek through there, you can see they've got kind of the same thing. Now, I'm not 100% sold on this. If you are privy to the way John Murdy works, he doesn't like to do a lot of repeats, but he does reuse a lot of scenes and set pieces. I know this personally because I have very good friends that used to work in scenic for HHN for many, many years. And they still use a lot of their props that my friends built from like 2007. So that's a look. I'm not against Scarecrow coming back, but the problem is Scarecrow is coming out in Las Vegas, which is only a couple 100 miles like east of us, and that just seems like a bad idea. I don't know. Did the merger of Six Flags and Cedar Fair? Yeah, that happened early this year. They solidified it. It already happened. So it wasn't a buyout. It was a 50-50 merger of equals is what they called it. I believe the way it is Six Flags has the name and Cedar Fair has the majority stake or something like that. I don't know. It was a whole thing. So they're equal partners. The board members are, it's like an equal number of Six Flags and Cedar Fair people. So that's kind of what I was getting at. Will it affect Scary Farm in any way? I don't think it'll affect Scary Farm in a bad way. Only because Scary Farm is kind of what pays the bills for Knott's Berry Farm. It's kind of what they're known for nationally, dare I say internationally. And I don't think they're going to mess with that. I think if anything, they're going to ask Cedar Fair for help. They're going to ask the Scary Farm team for help with the other parks, or the other park at least with Magic Mountain. At least that's what I'm hoping. That's what I've heard, that Six Flags is going to be getting help from Cedar Fair with their Halloween event. What that means, I have no idea. I'm hoping that it means Cedar Fair goes over there and says, hey, chop a couple of these mazes down. You don't need this much stuff. You know, what good is it to be the biggest Halloween event in Southern California if everything you have is mediocre at best? You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that Six Flags learned from their mistake there. I don't know. Hey, thank you, man. That's very kind. Thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate that, man. That's too kind. You're too kind. Anyway, was I showing you guys this? This was coming up, right? I hope this was coming up. I don't think it was it? You guys weren't seeing what I was. Oh, Albert, you just got here. Oh man, dude, you missed all the good stuff. You missed all. We're done. We're going home. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, I just did I showed a couple videos of Knott's old their last IP based mazes that they did, Quarantine and The Grudge from like 20 years ago. And basically we were talking about whether or not we thought Knott's was either going to absorb an IP or what they were going to do in terms of helping Magic Mountain with their event. But I was talking about, and we can go back to that, of course. But I was talking about Horror Nights and where we stand with all that, because all these tents are popping up, and there's a lot of wild speculations going up in the air. There was one earlier today again about the Wyatt Six maze being a thing because WWE posted something about Universal Orlando, but I don't think that has anything to do with anything. I think WWE's their training facility is in it's in Universal Studios, isn't it? Or it used to be, but it's in Orlando. I know that, so it's really, it makes sense for them to be partners. I don't necessarily think that has anything to do with Halloween Horror Nights, but I was talking about Scarecrow. I don't think this is necessary. This necessarily means that Scarecrow will be coming to HHN. I think this might be a set piece that he's just reusing for something else. That's my theory anyway. I'm trying to be as optimistic as I can about Horror Nights because all I've heard so far is meh. You know what I mean? The other one that we've heard is let me get rid of this real quick. The other one that I've heard is Poltergeist. I don't know how I feel about this one. Poltergeist wasn't my favorite, but I will say that I don't necessarily remember it. I mean, it's from what, 2018, I think. Poltergeist was in 2018. So Steve says the wild card of SeaWorld, Howl-O-Scream. I have never been to Howl-O-Scream, and I keep wanting to go, and other things just keep popping up. This year, it's going to be difficult for me to get to it again, just because Andrea and we've got so much other stuff that we're doing. We're going to Orlando for the first time, and we're going to do Horror Nights out there. So it might have to be next year. But from what I've heard is Howl-O-Scream has been getting better, and that's good. But here we go. Got into HHN on this tweet. Certain Hollywood is going to be a copy and paste Scarecrow. I know, yeah, but they're basing that off of this picture that they posted on X, right? That's what I take from it. I'm taking it there. They're basing here. I'll go back to it. They're basing their theory on this, and and the thing is too. Let me put it in. It's like so much that you have to do to make this work. I'm still trying to learn it. Right? They're basing it on this picture here, which again, that looks like it's the same piece right there. But I am a firm believer that John Murdy, he will do repeats of his mazes, but he reuses a lot of his sets all the time. If you look close enough, you can find pieces from early late aughts, early 2010s, all over the place. There's pieces of old Saw mazes. Hostel is in there. It's just, I don't think that should be the kicker. I really don't. I personally, I think it's going to be something else. But don't quote me on that. Now, I don't think what I do think is that's not going to be Five Nights at Freddy's, because I don't know where Five Nights at Freddy's would use that kind of like barnyard walling. but this is all kind of up in the air. Um, has there been any speculation? Scary Farm Mazer Zone? So no. The only speculation is people are wondering if, because of the merger, if Knott's is going to try to snag one of the IPs from Six Flags. That's kind of the popular question right now. I don't know how popular amongst the secular crowd it is, but I know like within the groups that I'm in, a lot of people have been asking that question. Again, Gloria's not going to tell me anything, but what she did say is we're really going to like what they're doing over there across from Widows. So obviously you got to sell it. You know, Albert. They're basing it on a source there named Kevin, who's supposed to be a guru on figuring out maze layouts. I don't buy it. This would be incredibly stupid. I feel the same way. I don't like. If you know me, you know I'm not the biggest John Murdy fan. I do know he likes to cut corners and he likes to mail it in on half of his events, especially now that he lives in Ireland and he just doesn't have the time. But he's too stubborn to hire more creative directors to help him with the event. But I don't think he's that stupid. You know what I mean? I don't think he's stupid at all. But I don't think he's that disrespectful to the fans of Halloween Horror Nights, the customers. You know what I mean? I think the writing should have been on the wall when they put Scarecrow and Chainsaw Massacre and whatever other ones they're doing in Las Vegas, that we're not getting those here. Especially if they're expecting a copy paste. I don't buy that. I really don't. And since we're on the repeat mazes, I was getting into Poltergeist, which is the speculation of the maze over on the other side, over in the H lot where Curious George is. I don't know. Well, that was weird. I don't know if that's going to be. Do I have? Let me see if I have. Oh no! You know what? Shoot! I just realized that I think HHN 365 they have. Yeah, they do. Okay, so I'm going to put this up instead. I'm going to put this picture. So they have a. Dang it. What's it called? They have. Boop, boop. This. So they're again, this is their guy Kevin, who's basing everything he sees off of what he's seen in the past. So this is the facade that went up in 2018 for Poltergeist, and this is the facade what it looks like now. Yeah, similar. This I believe a lot more than Scarecrow, especially since I heard that I think this is like it's the 10-year anniversary of the remake of Poltergeist. But I also think now there's been updated video or pictures of there's like a roof on it now. So, I mean, that actually might be so here's what I wanted to do. I want to oh man, sorry. I fell behind on you guys. My bad. Bring back Trapped will not sell well. You're talking about Scary Farm. They had nowhere to put it. They've got room 13 in behind the arcade now, so they've got nowhere to put Trapped. And plus I don't think that's the direction that Knott's Scary Farm wants to take. I really don't. I applaud them for doing it, but I don't think they want to do anything like that. And they have to figure out if they were ever going to add anything, they have to figure out where that would even go. I I mean, they've used so much space in that park just on mazes and backstage stuff. I really don't. I don't know. I don't even know where something like that would go. But anyway, I was okay. Hold on, let me catch up. All right, Albert. What's Albert say? Put in a tweet side by side the current facade 2018 house. They're not the same. No, okay. So was it the same one that I just put up? I don't think I can go back, but I hope it's not. But for the sake of playing the game, I did want to go through this walkthrough that Theme Park 101 did of Poltergeist from 2018 because I don't personally remember it. What I remember of Poltergeist is going through, because I loved that movie growing up. I remember going through the house and just being kind of underwhelmed. As I should have been prepared for anyway. 2018 was kind of an okay year. Probably because 2017 was bomb diggity. 2017 was amazing. That was the year Krampus was there, and Krampus is like my favorite Horror Nights maze ever. Yeah. So, Faith Keepers, what's going on, man? Not scared from family. I wish to try the frog legs. You didn't miss much. They're buffalo wings. They're fine. They you didn't miss a whole lot, I promise. Oh, the final. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. But also that house was well, where was it? Let's look. Where is that? I don't even remember where that house was. Poltergeist. Were they still doing? Was that Backlot? They were still doing Metro sets, right? In 2018, and I think was Poltergeist back there was back there with like Ash vs. Evil Dead, and something else. I don't remember what. Something like that. I don't know. All right. Before we do this run through, Steve. Boys Mary Festival, chili mac and cheese was bomb. Barbecue wings taste like Panda Express orange chicken. Yeah. So far, everything I've had for Boys Berry Fest has been awesome. I've been a fan of just about everything we've had. But I had the pizza from Prop Shop this week on Monday, and chef's kiss, so good. If you're gonna get pizza from Prop Shop, I always suggest going early when it just come out of the oven. Don't give it time to sit under those lamps because that crust does dry out. Without further ado, Theme Park HD presents Poltergeist from 2018. Just so that I can remember what the house was, because I don't remember what the house was. If my internet holds up. Yeah, that's the Metro sets. I miss the Metro sets, man.
A terrible presence is in there with her. It keeps Candyland very close to her.
It's a great facade. Too much of that scream. An Andrea cameo.
Holy crap! That was amazing. Wow.
black walls. More black walls than I remember.
Oh, man. Oh!
It knows what it is from the very beginning.
Oh, man.
So yeah, so that was, I mean, don't forget to subscribe. Oh Lord. Um yeah, so I mean, it gets pretty chaotic toward the end. I forgot how crazy that was. Uh I I'm not against getting that maze again. I could go through that again. I think maybe I'll have a better time this go around. But I don't know. Albert's convinced. I'm kind of convinced too that it's not going to come back. I will say that if there's going to be a repeat, it will be in this area. They usually have the repeats in this area, or in the T pad behind Transformers. Before I don't have to do this, but so yeah, so that's kind of where we are right now. We've got speculation with two of the mazes that are coming up. Obviously, I don't know if we looked at the this last time. We looked at the spec map, right? The last one. I think we did that last time. Where are we at here? I think we're in Hollywood, right? We're in the Hollywood one. I believe that's where we are. I'll pop that up real quick, and then we'll look at that one more time, just to kind of, because I don't know. I don't remember if they I don't remember if they had Poltergeist on here anywhere at all. Okay, so Yeah, they had Fallout and Five Nights at Freddy's back behind. They had the T-Pad, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Soundstage 15. They had Fallout. I don't see. I see. Oh, they do have Scarecrow. They did have Scarecrow, but they had Scarecrow in the H lot. It's like I said, that's generally where they put a lot of their repeats. And then Terrifier. Now, that could very easily be a Terrifier facade too, up there. I just because I mean, you put it in the brother and sister's house. You know, that's just a generic house facade. You could put that up there because Art the Clown, he was kind of a transient, right? He didn't really, he just would show up places. I don't really remember anything else that we talked. The blood with the film with the blood and the UBE where Walking Dead was. They were saying Scream for that one, I believe. But I don't know. Marty responded to a tweet yesterday where he said Mummy Q will be an original house. I believe that, and I'm pretty sure. What do they have? What do they have for on here? Unknown. So, yeah, I think the original houses are probably going to be. They probably have one in the H lot. Well, they never really had any original houses in the H lot, did they? They when Pandora's Box came out, that's when they were doing it behind the tram, when they weren't running the Terror Tram, right? They did it was Us, and then Pandora's Box back there. Monstros, El Kakoi, La Llorona, all those originals were all upper lot. Parisian Courtyard, I think. All of them. I think we're in Parisian Courtyard. But my guess is they did have that cool, they had the Dracula vs. Mummy next to the Mummy a couple years ago. That was all right. That was an original, right? But we're still so early. It's literally just tents going up, so we don't know what to make of anything at this point. But it's fun. It's fun to like talk about it. Terrifier, a Terrifier maze I think would be really cool. I'm not a super huge fan of the movies. I think they're a little too gratuitous for me. Maybe I'm just old. I know they have a very large cult following, and it grows with every movie they put out. So I'm not against that at all, because I think like the gorier the movie, usually the better the house. The Saw houses were freaking nuts. The Hostel house, if you remember the Hostel house that they had years ago, that house was awesome too. Texas Chainsaw Massacre always cleans up. It won the Hauntline haunt bracket of 2024. So a Terrifier maze I think would be fantastic. I want to see a Five Nights at Freddy's maze just because I want to see people I want to see those costumes. I want to see an 8-foot Freddy Fazbear coming at me, over the wall. And, I'd love to see that stuff. I played the game on VR. I have the game on VR. That's all I know of the video games. And I watched the movie, but pretty sure Andrea and I both fell asleep in that movie. So I don't really remember what happened. But I don't know what that is in the Parisian Courtyard. Somebody said something about it, but I don't really remember what it was. But that's kind of where we are now. So we're still very early in the speculation there. And then at Scary Farm, who knows? All we know is that 2 new houses and probably both original. But who knows? I mean, stranger things have happened at Knott's Berry Farm. Maybe they do. Maybe they grab an IP. Maybe, what I would love. Here's what I would love. I would love for Knott's, or I would actually love for Magic Mountain to take the old gun system, the zombie shooting system from from Knott's, from Cedar Fair, and implement that into the Army of the Dead maze that they have in the very back of the park. Get rid of Nocturnal Haunt. You don't need Nocturnal Haunt. Make that whole thing Army of the Dead and have it be Shooter. Now, the problem with that, and that's going to be a problem with Six Flags going forward if they decide they still want to do way too many scare zones and mazes, houses, is you're going to have a hiring, a staffing problem. I think you cut down 4 houses. Cut down 4 houses. Put all of those, hire the same amount of people, staff the crap out of Army of the Dead, get people shooting. That's going to be your most popular maze in 2025. Guaranteed. People love that system. They love zombie shooters. They loved Bloodlines until you took the guns away. And because people disliked it so much after they took the guns away, they got rid of it after last year. It wasn't its time to go. It was Mesmer's time to go. But they got rid of Bloodlines instead because people just didn't like it. So I think that's kind of what Army of the Dead at Magic Mountain is missing, is, missing the guns. And that place is primed and ready for something like that. I think that would be fantastic. That's what I think should happen over at Magic Mountain, is cut down quality over quantity and put the gun system in Army of the Dead. Man, Chainsaw Massacre making another movie or something, and seeing people take pictures of the house and posting it. Which house? Albert answered it. Is it really? I didn't know that. Is it taken after Murdy's Maze from last year, Chainsaw Legacy? Chainsaw Legends. The saw is the law. But what house? Just the one from last year. People like that maze. I went through it once and I was good. I mean the smells or anything didn't get to me. I don't know. It didn't really. It didn't do a whole lot for me. I was just kind of like, man. It was generic house, whatever. So that's where we are right now. And it is 9:00. So we're gonna cut it right there. Thank you guys so much again, Lament. Thank you so much for the $5. I have a lot to do this week, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to put out on the vlog side. I'm going to try to do my best to get what I can. Here we go. We got Steve. One more, Steve. Sorry. Repurpose the note says no. Haunt maze or scare zone can be walked through, like year round. You mean, or just for haunt? Yeah, probably that would be cool, and not have it be like the finale of the Terror Tram. Anyway, so I want to talk more about. I want to try to have some of my boys on with me because you can tell I have trouble ranting after a certain amount of time. It's a timing issue, and I also have somebody that I want to bring on that I think would be a very special guest. That I'm still in the works. I'm still trying to figure out the scheduling and stuff. But I'm going to be out of town pretty much all next week and next weekend. So I don't know if I'm going to be putting anything out on Thursday. I'm going to try to put something out on Wednesday. Most likely Universal. But we'll have to see. I'm not sure. It's just there's just so much going on all the time. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me, and I will catch y'all next time. So until we see you, I gotta do this tag right. Sorry. We see you up on the mountain, out of the studios, or back here on the farm. Thank you for telling me to have fun on my spring break vacation. We'll catch y'all on the flippity flop.